wait no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, where each and every Thursday I sit down with my best friend Kyle. We talk about the latest and greatest in PlayStation. So with that said, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm tired. Christmas tired me out, Joe.
Dude, Christmas. I got the ugly sweater.
I love that sweater.
I was
by the
prepared.
Way. That's awesome.
Guess how much this sweater was?
I don't know. Was it expensive? Was it more than 50?
$45.
Ooh, okay.
And it provides nothing that a sweater does.
Where'd you get it from?
I forget. Honestly, I forget. It was certified PlayStation, but it's all it is itchy. That's all this provides.
So
like,
it does provide something a sweater does.
Yeah, but honestly, I love this thing. And I forgot to take it home for the weekend, but you know what? Or for the holidays, rather. But here we are. It's, we missed our Christmas episode. It's stupid me. So I had to, I was just like, I'm not wasting $50 on this gag if I'm not even going to be able to use it.
Absolutely.
So here I am.
It's beautiful.
How was your Christmas, Kyle? Usually we have actually news this week because, it's the holiday season. Everybody's away. Everybody's like, we're with our families now, not our PlayStation. Stupid mistake on their part. But before we talk about Spider-Man, IGN, and all that stuff, Kyle, how was your Christmas?
It was tiring, man.
Yeah.
Having 3 kids that are in the house, like on Christmas, which is like the biggest day of the year for them, is pretty awesome and exhausting at the same time because you got to put stuff together, help them. Like,
do they all believe in Santa Claus still?
Yeah, they're only 7 and 5.
That's awesome.
So, spoiler alert for the kids who are listening to this, maybe. But Santa's totally real.
Yeah, you should. And I'm gonna ruin, Santa Claus. He's Shuhei Yoshida. Kids, look him up. Look him up. If you but sleigh.
Christmas was awesome. I didn't get anything games or movie wise, which is usually my go-to. But having my niece cry tears of joy because she was so happy with what she got made my Christmas. It was awesome.
There you go. Yeah, Christmas transforms when you're older. I'm not an uncle yet, sadly. Not a papa, thank God. So yeah, for me, I'm waiting. Christmas means very little to me anymore. I don't really get anything for Christmas. I got $100 hairs, which got me Anthem, and I paid off Resident Evil, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, Christmas was fine. It was dandy. We had, first off, guys, let me tell you something. We had the worst Christmas Eve dinner ever in my whole entire life.
No.
That was just not good. Honestly, so every year we go to my brother's mother-in-law's, and it's fine. It's always fine. But this year, man, the food was awful. It was awful. It was just she didn't care and she whipped it up at the last minute. That's the vibe I got.
Gotcha.
And so Christmas happened. My brother made this boiled I don't know, steak looking thing, ribeye, and it was delicious, but it's killing me today. So you're going to hear a lot more pauses in my speech because I'm fighting bad acid reflux. I mean, the worst it's been for months now. So yeah, no, my Christmas was fine overall. I just played a lot of games, played some Beat Saber, almost completed with the campaign.
Sweet.
I was like a puddle today. That's dude, that game's a workout.
There's some stuff in that campaign, you're only allowed to move a certain
I got to that
distance.
Part. Yeah.
It's annoying. It's really hard to really not move your hands so much.
Yeah, and then there's ones where you're just you have to move your arms a lot.
Oh, that one I do. So that's even more of a workout because I overdo it.
And then at the end, when you're right about you need 70 or 700 plus whatever meters, I just start spinning the move controller. It's crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the game, dude, Beat Saber's so good.
It's great. Yeah.
If you have not gotten your hands on Beat Saber yet, you need to. You absolutely need to. Yeah. It's fantastic. I played Donut County.
Oh, how'd you like it?
Platinumed it.
I love Donut County.
Dude, Donut County slaps, as a kid.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. The dialogue is amazing. BK, the
BK's
raccoon,
awesome.
is fantastic, and I platinumed it, guys.
Yeah.
Look at the name of that podcast right up there.
That's right.
Trophy Room, platinumed it, and so yeah, I'm really digging it, and now I got the platinum fever. So tonight, because I left God of War here, I'm gonna be picking that up next week. I'm gonna be platinuming that. I'll be talking about my adventure as Kratos platinuming the game of the year.
Oh, that's good luck against some of those. I forgot what they're called. God. It's been such a long time.
Let me sit you down here. I'm going to put this thing to very easy mode.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just going to platinum it.
The last one, I can't remember their names. It's bothering me. The last one is super difficult, even on easy.
All right. I mean,
so
listen.
I'm giving you a heads up.
I could breeze through easy mode. Like normal, they're challenging, but I feel like I just want to platinum it to say that I have it platinumed. Mm-hmm. That's all I really want to do. It's not for the challenge anymore. And so with that, Kyle, I'm going through, when it comes to like my catalog of games, I'm going through gamer paralysis.
Oh yeah, I've gone through that a lot lately as well.
And I'm just like, what do I do?
Yeah, and it sucks.
I don't know.
It's made even worse because since it's the holiday season, PSN had like a flash sale. Mm-hmm. So I actually bought a lot of stuff that was on sale, and I'm excited to play. Like I bought Dragon Age Inquisition. Ooh, I picked that up again.
How much?
I think it was $10 or something. It was it's usually 40. It's the Game of Year edition. It has everything.
Oh damn.
I bought Darkest Dungeon, which I started a little bit. Pretty cool. And I bought PlayStation Worlds for VR. It was $5.
Like $5. Yeah, I'm even.
So I was like, yeah,
because I hear it's an easy platinum. So.
I bought Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2.
I started that one. I made it through the first mission, which I've done before, but I'm enjoying it more the second time around.
Titanfall 2, man, that level design, top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch. My favorite level is the last level. Because it's just like, have yourself some fun.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I can't wait.
Any other games you buy?
Not buy, but I downloaded the PS Plus game Onrush.
Ooh, have you played that a little bit?
I did. It's an interesting take on the racing formula. It's basically like you don't have to worry about getting first place. It's all about like scoring points by boosting and eliminating other players and stuff. It's like a game show type of thing.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's super. It's the people who made like MotorStorm and other racing games like that. So it feels great and it's really pretty and I like the vibe of it. So I'll probably be playing that a little bit more as whenever I get some time. But like going back to you saying gamer paralysis, like I just bought more games to add on top of my backlog where I don't want to start something too big because I feel like I'm neglecting all the other games type of thing. And I have Spider-Man DLC to play and it's just like pile on and on. I bought Smash and Let's Go Pikachu today.
Yeah.
Like I have oh my god, there's so much stuff to play and not enough time.
So many characters to unlock. Some would say too many.
So many. Everyone is here, Joe.
Well, Crash isn't there, and that's what really matters. That's Kyle, let's get to the news, shall we? Mm-hmm. IGN, the big sites. How dare they? A lot of YouTubers say they're dying. I like to believe that. Who knows who goes IGN anymore? Apparently I did because I clicked the link. IGN Awards, how dare you for copying our totally original idea of holding an award show? How dare you? Mm-hmm. But with that award show, the IGN Game of the Year and they had an awesome list of games and categories. Again, IGN, give them a click. You know the site.
Yeah.
God of War sweeps. Best action adventure, best art direction, best PlayStation 4 game, best game of the year. Mm-hmm. God of War. And I bring you this, Kyle, in good news because God of War just seems to be taking everybody's game of the year. I think we were all anticipating Red Dead Redemption to be locking it down. And I remember you and I were like begrudging Red Dead Redemption when it was winning all the awards at the Game Awards. And then we were like, okay, let me guess what best indie game is. Red Dead Redemption. Best art direction, Red Dead Redemption. Best esports player, let me guess, Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption. It was a little bit too much. Are you feeling that way now with God of War because now it's just sweeping everybody's game of the year, or do you feel like this kind of allows other sites to go? We don't have to go with Red Dead Redemption because it was the hotness. We can go somewhere else.
I don't feel like they're in that mindset where they're like, we have to go with Red Dead or God of War either way. I think they really do have like really solid deliberations on what to pick for Game of the Year, and I'm certainly not tired of seeing God of War win awards. It just, in my eyes, in your eyes, I not to speak for you, but like, this game deserves everything and more. What Corey and his team did, incredible, and it deserves everything that it gets. I love seeing God of War win, and that's why that moment at the Game Awards when they said God of War was Game of the Year, we freaked out. We were so happy, like we were on the team that made the game, which we weren't. We just we loved that game so much that we, oh my god, it was so happy. Like I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it, because I haven't felt like my personal Game of the Year has won it since Telltale's Walking Dead Season 1. When IGN gave that Game of the Year. I am not a Breath of Wild person. I played 15 minutes of it. Didn't care for it. Yeah. It's just
how
not
dare
my
you?
thing.
It's the internet.
Well, I wanted
They're
Horizon.
They're going to kill you, Kyle. Hashtag kill Kyle is now in effect.
Go ahead. Hashtag it up.
Oh, no.
Like, that's not my Game of the Year. I wanted Horizon to so badly win it, and it didn't. And I was expecting the same thing, like a big franchise that has millions of fans and that loves it so much in Red Dead, and Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. I was just like, okay, it's like Zelda all over again. Like, it's Rockstar, people love it, whatever. I thought Red Dead is a beautiful game, just not my cup of tea. And I thought it was going to win it. Like, I was so happy it didn't.
That's what a lot of people are saying about Red Dead, is that a beautiful game. They're always like, beautiful game, but not my cup of tea. And I even find myself saying, beautiful game, great game. Actually, it's amazing, but it's not my Game of the Year because it very much is their vision, and they didn't give a shit about anybody else's, especially the gamer. It felt like sometimes. So, like, with that, if you love Red Dead, I'm glad, I'm happy for you, and it's an amazing game. Also, just anybody's Game of the Year. Like, it could be Smash Brothers. I don't care. You know, it could be Pokemon. It could be Forza Horizon. We get very much caught up in like console war bullshit, which it very much is. As much as like this podcast is about PlayStation, it's not like we hate Xbox or we hate Nintendo. No. We like those two both. We like what they do as well. I mean, hell, I think in a very close second for my favorite console right now in this generation has to be my Nintendo Switch. I love it. It's awesome. Just the functionality of it. But where I go to play the games, it's on this bad boy. I love this. So, you know, your Game of the Year could be anything. Don't let any site or even us try to deter that from you as well, because there's amazing content everywhere. But for me, seeing God of War, I am biased because I wanted this thing to win so bad, because I say it all the time, I told a really personal tale that I've never seen any piece of media tackle, and no piece of media has made me ever feel before. Any TV show, movie, book, whatever. So I felt like I had a personal stake in it. I think you're completely right. And with that, seeing this sweep the way it's doing is awesome. And I think God of War balances the fun awesomeness of being a game with telling an awesome story. And I don't think Red Dead does that too well. I think one of the biggest critiques I hear from Red Dead is the fucking controls are bad. They're old. You know, they're San Andreas controls. Come on, man. So
honestly, my biggest issue with Red Dead, and I'm sorry for going along on the Red Dead train, just going in between areas. Like I personally don't like riding the horse for 15 minutes to get to one spot. And if you die, you get transported back and you got to make that whole thing over again most of the time.
Right.
Like I understand why they did it, but I felt like they kind of forgot the gamers type of
See, I like that
situation thing.
I like
So
that.
that goes exactly to what you were just saying. Everyone's Game of the Year is different because everyone has a different cup of tea, as you will.
Yeah.
And
It's awesome. So congratulations yet again, Corey and the gang over there at Santa Monica.
Yep.
You guys and gals do amazing work. Thank you all so much. Speaking of developers that do really amazing work, let's talk about Spider-Man. Let's talk about Insomniac, because you had some feelings about this. Yes, I know it's very old news. Well, guess what? This is going to be a very slow show for you then. Spider-Man gets a highly requested Spider-Man the Raimi suit. Now, you know Sam Raimi. He made all the Spider-Man from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man, everyone's favorite 3. I can't even say it. Can't even say it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do that dance. With that, this story comes from Polygon, and it's quoted. I'm going to actually quote a tweet from someone who tweeted at Insomniac a few days before their announcement of the Sam Raimi suit. And this tweet reads, "Come on, Insomniac," one fan wrote on Twitter, including a picture of the Raimi suit. "You said you were listening." And then Insomniac replied to the Twitter user saying, "Listening doesn't mean we always do what people tell us to." Insomniac responded, "We hear you. Hearing doesn't mean we always act or follow." Then, following that, 4 days afterwards, Insomniac released a tweet on the 20th revealing the Sam Raimi Spidey suit. And they are quoted on this tweet as saying, "We have a special holiday gift for the hashtag Spider-Man PS4 players. Today's game update will include the highly requested suit. Hint, it's webbed and it's free for owners of Marvel's Spider-Man." Kyle, take all the controversy out of it.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on this suit?
I think it's great. I think that was our Spider-Man for such a long time.
Yeah.
That wasn't animated, of course. Like on the big screen, the Raimi suit was something that is so easily identifiable. And say what you will about the movies, the suit's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic in the game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you think of Spider-Man, a lot of people honestly, all three of them, I don't feel like age well. But that doesn't mean that they're not important, because up until this point, there was never a good superhero movie. So to see Spider-Man 1 for the time just go, here's what a superhero movie is. And then Spider-Man 2 going, this is how you lead it up. And then Spider-Man 3. So like those movies that mixed with the X-Men films really showed you what your superheroes can look like. And then the MCU perfected that. So for me, in game, awesome suit. Awesome suit looks awesome. Now, my second thought for you is, what are your thoughts on the way that Insomniac handled the criticism for the lack of suit? Because I saw a lot of people on Twitter, man, what the fuck is wrong with you people? It was really disgusting. And
I was really mad.
I was seeing people, I get the funny memes. I could take a good meme. And I think there were some good ones. But just seeing some people out there, and I'm not saying it's all, because it's very much the vocal minority, but calling Insomniac out on how they're not listening to fans. Did they just not give you a Game of the Year caliber game? Did you forget that Activision used to have this IP and all the things Activision was doing with this IP?
Mm-hmm. Or lack thereof.
Do we want to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie tie-in game?
No, we don't.
Huh?
No, we don't.
God. So my first thought, I saw this one guy who was then patting himself on the back because he got the suit. And then three people just hopped on him. It's it's not because you're being an asshole.
No.
They did it because they wanted to, and it's free, and they could have charged you if they wanted to, but they did it out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah, and it's not I kind of going back a little bit. I think they handled it as well as they could have. Mm-hmm. It's something where after this being released and hearing Brian, the game director, talk about it, it's been in the work for months.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of loopholes that hurdles they had to hop over, a lot of red tape. They had to get Marvel to sign off on it. Then they had to get the Sony itself to sign off on it. And then they had to keep bouncing back and forth to make sure everything was good before they can actually 100% say, hey, we are 100, we're making it, it's coming. If they do that and then they can't do it, something happens, then people are going to yell at them for taking back a promise. So I think them just not really saying anything or telling fans to like be patient and still delivering amazing suits. We are blessed that we have all these different kinds of suits in the game and in the DLC, and at the end of the day it's just a cosmetic suit. It's not the end of the world, and it's just a tiny part of that game.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I still think the Insomniac suit looks miles better.
It's one of my favorite suits in the whole game. I use it almost all the time.
Yeah, it's amazing. The way I see it, and I think, yeah, they handled it really well. Me as someone who outside looking in, I think I would have approached it a little bit differently.
Okay, how so?
I would have approached it in the beginning saying, no, it's not in here. We're saving it, and then just kind of be open and honest with everybody. Like, just say, listen, it's hard. It's harder than just putting it in this game. There's a lot of red tape. We will try our best, but no promises. We're gonna try our hardest. No promises. This is it. This is what it is. There's a lot of legal loopholes we have to cross, because I know Enter the Spider-Verse is an amazing movie, and my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, and my favorite superhero film of all time. Yeah, I said it. Okay, come at me. And they wanted Tobey Maguire to be Spider-Man, one of the Spider-Men.
Oh, okay.
But they chose not to do it because they looked at it as, we don't want to confuse the audience, and we don't want this universe to think that it's tied into the Tobey Maguire universe, the Raimi universe. And I think if they just said, listen, guys, we don't have any plans at launch. We don't want others to think that this is part of the Raimi universe. We want this universe to stand on its own 2 feet. Maybe in the future, please understand, though, it's a very slim possibility. There's a lot of loopholes we have to do. We'll try our best, but as of right now, no. And I think that's... Ooh, God, I hit my mic. I'm so sorry. I see I keep on hitting this mic. Please don't press charges, Mike. But yeah, like, it's just something that we'll consider at a later date. And I think that's one way of just approaching it, because I think the hardcore audience will be like, okay, yeah, I get it. All right, I understand. And then the casuals won't even know, right? Like,
true.
People wouldn't notice. And I think that's a worthy thing to say. It's like, hey, guys, not yet. We want our universe to stand on its own, not with the Raimi suit, maybe later, but legal stuff, okay?
Sure.
But my other question for you, Kyle, is, does it seem like they're rewarding bad behavior?
Yeah, and that's the thing that kind of bums me out, because like you said, there were people that when they announced it was coming, people were like, oh, thank you, or not even really saying thank you, but like, see, I told you, or like they were...
It's because we put that pressure on them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's literally, they've been working on it forever, and they wanted to put it out. They could have hid it behind the DLC. Yeah. They could have done that. But no, they decided to give it for free. And unfortunately, it does look like they were rewarding the bad behavior. But I think most of us know that, or most of us are smarter enough. Man, I cannot speak today.
You got this.
Most of us are smart enough to know that it's not because of that. And I put up on my Twitter, I said, I hope everyone that was complaining, writes a 5-page paper with like sources of saying how sorry and stupid they are. Yeah, it's just like, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Be grateful that you even got a Spider-Man game of this level.
Like, I saw, like, our next story is the PlayStation Classic is a bust, right? So let's get right into this story. The PlayStation Classic is now $59.99.
Which is why I have it right here. I'm
so
this whole frame.
Sony released and this comes straight out of Polygon. Please give them a click. Sony released the PlayStation Classic on December 3rd for $99 US, but the retro console apparently didn't find an audience willing to put up with its poor emulation and mediocre selection of games. The good news, if you didn't buy it at launch, is fuck you, Polygon, is that you can now buy the PlayStation Classic from most major retailers for only $59.99, saving $40 from the original price only 23 days after release. I saw a lot of people cheering at this news. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and at the fact that Sony has failed here with this
Oh, so
retro
they were
console.
happy that Sony
Yeah, like
took a
laughing
loss.
at them, like that's what you get for copying Nintendo, and I'm just like,
Oh,
you people are awful.
yeah.
We're a day after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Is this how you're gonna act? The day after you're being like thankful and merry and cheerful, you're gonna start cheering the demise of a product, whether it's
So
a good
stupid.
attempt or not. What type of person are you?
Mm-hmm.
And when I see people like that, I'm just like, man, the internet is such a shitty place, and what a shitty person.
Mm-hmm.
What a shitty thing to do. What a shitty thing to say. Because like I take a look at this news and look, I personally the emulation on this thing, the PAL versions are awful. You'll find that out, Kyle. And yes, I think it's overall a mediocre selection of games, right? Not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But am I cheering at this? No, I feel bad. A, because I bought it, but two, I'm also feeling bad because I know people worked on this thing.
Yeah.
I think I think the hardware feels freaking awesome. I think the controllers are freaking awesome, man. Like holding it, you're like, this is a PlayStation controller.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like somewhere it got lost in translation because literally because the software team was just like it felt like it was just like find something.
Yeah.
Let's throw it on here. What's that PAL version? Yeah, sure. And I feel like there's love for this console. There's a love for this classic thing. And as a fan, I'm disappointed in Sony, but I'm also feel bummed for the people that did work really hard on this to push this out. This is a thing that's also months, years in the making. They filed patents for this thing, a year ago. So like to cheer for its demise is man, a sucky thing. Kyle, what do you feel about this news as it drops in price?
I mean, I do feel bad for those that have bought it full price at time of release, like yourself, Joe. I do feel a little sorry for the people that worked on it, and then putting out putting out the feeling that they are disheartened by it, by its release and not selling a lot. Like that kind of sucks. I know when I put my work into something and it's not received well or acknowledged well, like that hurts. So I can only imagine people who've worked on it probably don't feel great. But personally,
Dude, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah,
It's something
it's
really.
bad.
It's as a creator of things, like when you put something out there, like for example, if the Trophy Room Awards did not go the way I wanted it to go, and like it was the worst performing show of the year or the month, or even just didn't live up to my expectations, that hurts so bad because you want people to love your thing, and like when people don't go out to get that thing, you feel worthless.
Yeah.
And so for the creators out there, like, yeah, I do feel bad. I also understand people like feeling slighted about this, but you bought it, right?
Yeah.
And
I
so
bought it.
I mean, what are your takes on that? Like, do you feel like the $60 price point is worthy of it?
Yeah. Well, so I felt bad that I had to cancel mine in order to buy Christmas presents for my nieces. I bought them a Wii for Christmas and a bunch of games, and I had it pre-ordered and I canceled it to put towards their gifts.
Yeah.
And it's the first PlayStation. I'm gonna call it hardware because it's hardware. First PlayStation hardware I have not gotten on launch since PS2. And so it hurt because it hurt not having it. I'm one of those early adopters, and I get everything PlayStation released like right off the bat. But like this right here is my childhood. Right. So I would have bought it at 100.
That's my next question. Would you feel like 23 days after release? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I look at that and be like, could I have $40? Shit.
Sure, yeah, but I was going to buy it at $100. Okay. It just so happened that now when I had a chance to get it, it's down in price. Like, it is my childhood, and it's one of those questions like, can you put a price on nostalgia and memories? And like, I bought the NES and SNES Classic. I have no attachment to those systems really. The NES, yes, but not the Super NES. I have zero attachment to that. so I don't feel compelled to get it. Yeah, I don't play it at all. But this right here, I'm going to be playing a lot of, and
Right.
I'm happy to dive back into this because, like I said, it's my childhood. I have so many great memories of a lot of these games, and I know a lot of people crap on the games that are included on that.
Well,
but
I feel like it's really easy to hate on something rather than to take
just
any
because
type of appreciation.
again, going back to like I think what the theme of this episode is everyone has a different style of game they like to play, so it's hard to please everybody. And I think they did a good job of what's on here. Sure, there's some things that I would like to see, but that's for me. Right. And I think it's a widely distributed product. I think they did a pretty good job with it. So
I think you raise a good point too. I think, look, you might be a hardcore classic gamer, right? When in terms of like buying these little mini consoles and playing the crap out of them. But for me, I bought the Super Nintendo Classic. Because, guys, Super Nintendo, I know, Mr. Sony guy over here. Oh, my God. I'm the worst. Super Nintendo is the console that got me into gaming. It is very much part of my childhood. It really is a lot of my childhood. And I played it once.
Yeah.
And it sits on this desk. And I don't regret buying it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not sitting here going, all right, here it is. No, it's a novelty.
Yeah.
All these things are. And to sit there and go, Nintendo did it first. They copied, look at the copy the I'm like, are you fucking stupid? How are you supposed to tell the audience that this is small? You put it in your goddamn hand.
I had one of those, but in Sega form when I was like in high school.
Yeah, let's get over
it. Like the Sega Genesis flashbacks or the Atari flashback systems. They've been around way longer than Nintendo.
We get it. So. Listen, Nintendo used to be really, really out there and awesome and cool, and now they're just stupid. I get it. I'm kidding. I get just I love my Switch. No, I get it. Like Nintendo bred the way of gamers today. I understand that there's a lot of love and a lot of nostalgia for Nintendo, but sometimes I kind of just feel like it's misplaced. Like we view them as this immaculate company that makes no mistakes, and everything they've ever done is original, and they've never followed a trend ever. And it's like, really, have you seen anything they've made? They're not original. Like it's kind of like, they set trends. They set a lot of good trends, but they also follow too. Yeah. Same with Sony. Same with the PlayStation. Like, guys, a lot of the things we play and we love and we cherish are not original. Not original ideas. Do we think the original Xbox was an original thought? No, it was Xbox trying to find a market, find a trend. And they were like, let's capitalize on this mature audience like PlayStation has. And they did it. And it's one of my favorite consoles of all time. It's a fucking great console. I love it. Right? I love the Master Chief. I love all that jazz. But is the Master Chief the thing that pioneered first-person shooters? Absolutely not. Yes, it is. But
and to go back to like the classic, it's and like the SNES, NES classic stuff. Yeah. It's Nintendo and Sony celebrating their history. Yeah, and it's something that you don't need to get, but it's something cool to have with you and be like, hey, PlayStation's come a long way, or Nintendo's come a long way, and don't think that Microsoft's not sitting there and like. Even with their backwards compatibility, I'm sure they're thinking about it. Yeah, or Game Pass. Thank you.
Yeah, they got their little Game Pass. Hey, play this nostalgia stuff for $9.99 every month. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Like, come on, they do it. They're all playing to an audience.
It's celebrating its history, and if you're a fan and if you want that thing, go get it. No one's telling you not to get it. It's really your money at the end of the day.
If they did an Xbox Classic. Because you know how big that Xbox is? Xbox was huge. So, like, they shrink it down, and it's actually now just a shoebox. It's like,
well, you know what? They kind of sort of did that. They brought back the old school Xbox controller.
That's true, the Duke.
So they are doing it in different ways, and I'm sure not many people bought that.
I mean, it actually just went down in price, too, which I'll buy
every company tries this, awesome. Grab at nostalgia and awesome history, and so it happens. I'm happy with it. I'm happy to own it. I can't wait to bust it open.
Now I kind of want a Duke controller. Thanks a lot. Which I didn't mind that controller back in the day. Have you ever held an original Duke controller?
I think so, back in college, but not.
It's freaking.
I know it's huge.
It's awesome though. I love that controller so much. Anyway, with that, this is not an Xbox show. Blah. Let's prepare the drop. Each and every week, right? PlayStation lists the latest and greatest games coming to the console. This week they didn't update the list. This is actually last week's list.
Oh.
But don't tell anybody. This is our little secret audience.
Between you and me here.
Yeah, so what we do, because there's so many games that drop each and every week, Joseph and Kyle pick the latest and greatest. One each. Kyle, what is your pick from the PlayStation blogs, The Drop?
That was very good movie trailer voice guy.
Thank
impression.
you.
That was nice. My pick is R-Type Dimensions EX.
What is this game, Kyle?
The description of R-Type is fight through all 14 Bido-infested stages of the R-Type and R-Type 2 arcade classics. Choose between retro 2D graphics and audio or fully reimagined 3D graphics with revamped music tracks. Power up and strike down the evil Bido Empire.
Bido Empire.
R-Type is like the classic, when I think of shmups,
Okay.
side-scrolling shoot-'em-up arcadey thing where you pick up weapons and stuff, I think of R-Type.
Yeah.
And I love those type of old school arcade shooters. Kind of hopping back to PS Classic, one of the ones that I wish was on there was a game called Einhander, which is a side scroller where you're a ship and you're just shooting down enemies and very arcade style, high score. And there's not that many games like that around anymore, especially with Housemarque going a different direction.
Womp, womp, womp. Yeah.
So it's cool that they're bringing this back and giving a new audience of gamers a chance to play it, because R-Type's awesome.
Do you know, I actually thought you were going to pick the Spider-Man.
The DLC? No, that's a cop-out.
Yeah, I was just like, this is a cop-out, but I copped out last time, so Kyle didn't want to cop out this
There
time.
was, honorable mention, there was another rhythm game in VR on that list.
What was it?
I don't remember, but it didn't sound cool. It sounded like you were just catching music notes, not like slicing them open with a lightsaber.
That's so badass.
So I decided to go somewhere else. Joe,
My pick is Hellfront Honeymoon. Hellfront Honeymoon is an intense twin-stick action strategy game to be enjoyed with friends over a 6-pack of fruit juice. One screen, one winner. Short, intense matches like my love life. Play solo or co-op missions, or go all-out deathmatch. Let me tell you something. I picked this game because, A, that sounds awesome, right?
Yeah.
And also, our good friend Luke Lore, who's come on twice on the show from the Xbox Tribe, loves this game. Loves it, singing its praises.
Really?
So I'm
Okay.
actually very curious in this game. I need to see more of it, but I actually, Luke, there you go. You get a shout out and I picked your game. There you go. So that was The Drop. Now, man, I'm telling you, these short weeks, man. You know, these again
Joe,
shorter? Yeah.
do you want to tell the people what's for PS Plus?
Kyle, you beautiful, beautiful man. Let me get this. You know what? I told you before the show, I was just like, let's not forget the PlayStation Plus games.
Yeah, I thought you added
January.
it. I noticed that it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
No, you know what I did? It was just, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the trophy room. And now, prepare for the PlayStation Plus games of January 2019. Yes, this voice is going nowhere. First off, January, man, I feel like this is a good month. I'm just going to say it right here, right now.
yeah, I think
Your
so. Too.
PlayStation 4 games for the month of January for your PlayStation Plus, all you beautiful PlayStation Plus owners, are numero uno, Steep. You know, that skiing game. Portal Knight, which looks freaking awesome. Portal Knights, rather, sorry. Fallen Legion. Oh, sorry, I needed to say it in this voice. Fallen Legion, Flames of the Rebellion. Also on PlayStation Vita. PlayStation 3 is Zone of the Enders HD Collection. Amplitude. Oh, I like that.
That's awesome.
PS Vita is also Fallen Legion, Flames of the Rebellion for the PlayStation 4. And then Super Mutant Alien Assault. Bam.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to try out Portal Knight. Sorry, Portal Knights. My acid reflux always comes in at the S. I saw the PlayStation Plus list video, and I saw the Portal Knights one. I was like, this actually looks pretty cute. So I'm in. So
That's
there
cool.
you go.
I'm actually really excited to try out Steep. I love me a good snowboarding game. And this one always interests me because I miss SSX with a passion. Like the old school PS2 ones. Like I miss those so much. I know it's a different style and flavor, but I'm always down for a good snowboarding game, so I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. With that, now if I was you. So we all know that Shuhei runs first party over at PlayStation Interactive Entertainment, but we also know Shuhei Yoshida is more than just a man. No, he's an idea. And ideas are bulletproof, Mr. Creedy. If I was you, what would be your resolutions for the PlayStation brand, for PlayStation going into 2019? You know, we all have resolutions. We're going to talk about a few later in this episode, right? Everyone's like, I'm going to get into bikini season. What do you think as Sony? What do you do? What is your resolutions? I'm going to stop screwing this up.
What are my resolutions as Sony?
As Sony Interactive Entertainment.
I think number one on that list is to really take what you have learned from PS4 and kind of the last couple of months with kind of fumbling some things and kind of turn that into a teachable moment and make sure going forward with PS5 hopefully being revealed in 2019 to make sure that everything is bulletproof and there's not a whole lot of stuff to poke holes in. So I think that's my first and foremost is getting that all down pat.
So what you're saying is, and let's do 3 for each, right? You got 3, I got 3. So what you're saying is, you know what you do right.
Yeah.
Take your fumblings as teachable lessons, as you are king of the castle, you are top dog right now, and kind of just learn from that. Like, learn from your cross-play fumblings. Learn from your fumblings with how you handled changing your names for so long.
Yep.
And start fixing things. You know, because right now your ship's good, but you got a few leaks.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I got one. I went way smaller scale.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I walked into something. As you know, I talked about platinuming some games earlier. I have a wall of shame when it comes to my trophies. And I forgot, and Mr. Bohotep reminded me, that you can actually, for any game that you played, you didn't get any trophies in, you could delete those games off your trophy list. And I thought, why not let's just go a little step further? If you didn't get, this is my first resolution, Shuhei Yoshida, are you listening? Hey, buddy, eyes up here. If you got less than 10% in a game, sorry, did I murder your ears there? Well, hopefully it didn't damage shoes. If you have less than 10% or 5% in a video game trophies, you're able to delete that game. Do you know how many 1% games I have there? Because I played the first 15 minutes, I was just like, yep, nope, I'm out.
Yep.
Please, Shu. Please. That's my first resolution. You do that for me, I'm the happiest little cowboy there is. I'd be rooting to and I'd be a salami sandwich on a Tuesday. Kyle, what's your second on your list?
My second one would be to continue the strong wave of PSVR. Make sure that momentum does not slow down. Keep supporting developers making really cool stuff for VR, and not shoehorn it in games. Like, give people a chance to really make really unique VR titles and keep that area of PlayStation flourishing, because it is great right now.
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, I see so many people. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I see so many
bundles for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
I didn't see a lot of PlayStation 4s being opened on Christmas. I hear a lot of people going, got the Spider-Man, got my Red Dead one. But I'm seeing, like, a lot of Switches, and I'm seeing a ton of PlayStation VR, and seeing people for the first time experience PlayStation VR.
It makes me so happy to see people's tweets where they're like, I finally tried out VR. I get it. It's awesome. And they start out right. They start out with Beat Saber or Moss or Astrobot. Like, it's such a great time to hop in.
Dude, it's so awesome. And I'm going to go a step further. This was actually my number 2. Add PSVR games to PlayStation Plus. Because we're getting rid of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games. RIP, it's finally dead. Put a nail in it. Put a couple of gunshots in it, because every time we think it's down, it keeps getting back up. You know what I'm saying? Take the gun, leave the... No, take the cannolis, leave the gun. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, add PlayStation VR games to PlayStation Plus. That was my number 3. And at the same exact time, could we also maybe make that $199 bundle just a thing that exists?
Yeah.
The cheaper it is, it looks like that's the sweet spot. Mm-hmm. Get it there, man. I love it. Yeah, that's my number 2. Give me PSVR games for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. And man, we are so synergized right now, because my number 3 is the news that you're taking games away from PS Plus, and we're getting a limited sample of games. Make those games hit hard, and not leave people a chance to be like, oh, this is not a good month. Like I want you, now that you are limiting the number of games we're getting each month, make sure those games are. Man, this sounds like I'm whining, but like
make good.
Sure, yeah, make them good, but like make sure that they are unique experiences and a way to like highlight smaller devs,
right?
And maybe have like one big hitter and one smaller game that is unique and cool. Because that's how I got hooked on Rocket League. Like that was a PS Plus game, and
same here. So many
I have over 60 hours in Rocket League. I love that game. So I think keep maybe the first month. It ends in what, March is when things get changed over.
Yeah, March.
So like March, make it a big month and show people like that what you're doing.
Give The Last of Us Remastered out.
Boom.
Do it. Bam. Dunzos. All right. With that, my final one right here is let me return pre-orders / digital games. And here's why I say that. I made a mistake yesterday. I talked about Anthem. I talked about RE2. I accidentally pre-ordered Anthem on the PlayStation Store. I didn't accidentally do it. I bought the game, but it's not going to charge my card until the game comes out, which is cool in retrospect, but I kind of just wanted to be hit now so that the money that I had is just gone. And now
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, now I'm just like, oh, crap. All right, I'm going to leave this 50 in a piggy bank, right?
Yep.
In a secure location with armed guards, so no one can steal it.
That's why I don't pre-order from Amazon, because they wait until they ship to charge you.
Yeah, and then you're like, where was this when I get? You're just like, what? Fuck, you're screwed. Yeah, let me return digital goods, please. Just take the Steam and Xbox model. Please just take more Xbox stuff. Take those services. You take those services. You really have next gen. You have nothing to lose at this point. But yeah, seriously, let me return digital games. With that, Kyle, do you have any personal? You have one personal resolution for next year?
Oh man. I mean, it's kind of boring to say get healthy, but I really need to really work on it. It's something that I say it all the time, but I need to get it going. Yeah. And my resolution for this year was to do more stuff like this, podcasting, and I knocked it out of the park. So I need to keep that momentum up and put it towards something to better me and make sure I could keep doing podcasting for as long as I can, because like I need to get healthy.
Yeah. Same here, buddy. And that's why I'm adding resolutions to the trophy room.
Sweet.
Okay. Now, people wait until like New Year's Day to release the new changes to whatever format or content they're creating. I felt like when it came to the trophy room, we really don't need to change much. We got a very good ship here. It's floating. It's on. There's no leaks. There's no leaks on the ship. Okay, there's no snakes on this plane. Everything's fantastic. But there are some things that I would like to add here or there. And so what I'm going to do is a new segment that I've been wanting to do for a while. And if it's very, very popular, I will then spin it off into its own thing if you guys demand this. I want to do a new segment. Again, it's something I've been meaning to do for a year now. And I've been too chicken to do it. Called Getting Fit with Bad Bit. I want to update you guys either at the end or the beginning of each show of how I've been doing in my weight loss journey. So next week, I'm going to weigh myself. You're going to see how much I weigh. And then we're going to each and every week, just something brief, just something like 5 seconds. Hey guys, just in the Getting Fit with Bad Bit segment, I lost X amount of weight. I'm feeling great. Played Beat Saber. It's amazing. Seriously, I was like a puddle today. It was amazing. And just give you guys some updates about how I'm doing weight loss wise, because all those mean comments are getting to me. No, there's there's a lot of concern, and I get it. And a lot of people like ask me, about it. And no no harm, no foul, because you're worrying, and that's awesome, and you care, and that's the reason why I eat in the first place, because I don't think anybody does care. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this probably at the end of every show, just a quick here it is, here's an update, and just hopefully inspire people to do the same. Is to be open with yourself and to be open with others and to say when you are okay and to say when you're not okay. And so it's important to say I have not been okay for months, and I know why I haven't been okay, and it's because of my weight. It's been holding me back. So I'm going to tackle it head forward into 2019. I'm going to get that bikini. Where?
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to fucking rock it. I
That's
got
great.
the PlayStation emblems right here.
New Dead or Alive DLC character.
Yeah.
Mr. Badbit.
Richard Nixon and Mr. Tillerson. Right there. Lefty and righty. Uh, both old dudes. Okay. The next resolution for the trophy room. And this one's a really awesome one.
Yeah.
This year has sucked for video games. And when I mean that, I mean the content around video games has just been negative and awful. We talked a lot about that in this episode, right? The toxicity between Insomniac's, who like to say fans, and the toxicity around the PlayStation Classic. We're going to stop that. We're going to stop that nonsense, that stupid crap. At the end of every show, we're going to do something called the Trophy Room Shout Out, where we shout out people, devs, studios, weekly, and we give those people, those development studios, the praise that they deserve, because they don't get enough recognition. We always look at BioWare and go, we're nervous for Anthem because EA's EA. And we don't get to the brass tacks that there are people that really love and are passionate and that are doing great things.
Yeah. And they give so much to us as gamers.
So much to us. And when I look at games like when we're talking about Red Dead Redemption, the hundreds of hours of crunch, and we were all concerned about that, and then Fallout 76 happens, and we want that game fixed in a weekend.
Yeah.
And we forget that there's people that work there, and seeing video after video, content after content about what is a poor game, but it wasn't the developer's fault. Man, it sucks. So with that, I want to change that up. This week, I want to do 2 shout-outs. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Everybody, tweet at Insomniac, okay? Tell them the Trophy Room sent you. Tell them that, hey, you guys are awesome. You gals are awesome. You people are amazing. You gave us the best Spider-Man game ever. Tell them what you think of that.
Not even, like, just game.
Yeah.
Like, Spider-Man piece of entertainment and media, like, in a very long time.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And then I'm going to do this one as well. Everybody shout out Donut County, because that game is amazing. So they're at Insomniac.
Made by one guy, I'm pretty sure.
One dude, Ben Esposito.
Yeah.
So tweet at Donut County. Tell him the Trophy Room sent you. Tell him thank you for making this game. Thank you for working hard and just creating something that you were passionate about. Because that's what video games are really all about. With that, that's the Trophy Room shout out of the week. We go to our last segment, Andrew House's Snail Mail. Now, you may say, Joseph, Andrew House is no longer the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment. He no longer works there. He's retired. He's done with the business. Well, you know what? I keep on telling you guys to send mail over at Andrew House's address. I sent it out. He was very not pleased. He gave me a very big cease and desist letter and a restraining order. But don't worry. Each and every week, I get into his mail. I open that mailbox up and take all of it, all the bills, all the water bills. I don't give a shit. I just take them. They're mine now. And then I sit down on this desk and I read them out loud. So with that, our first question comes from Bobo himself. What's up, dude? He writes in on Discord, on at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. You can do that each and every week. With the subpar success of the PlayStation Classic, do you think that it will deter them from trying to release a PlayStation 2 Classic or something like that? Do you think that Nintendo will think twice about releasing another classic console, seeing the results of PlayStation Classic? Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Man, um, I think they're taking second thought or two when it comes to PS2 Classic.
Yeah.
I don't want them to because I think that would be really, really cool.
I think that's the one people actually want.
Yeah, because the games, like, they're in that graphic fidelity range where it's not as janky as what PlayStation 1 and N64 are. So I think that it's more passable and less. What's the word I'm looking for? Less a shock value when you see it, like, on screen.
Right. That and just they learn so much. Like, the controls are a lot better.
Yeah,
from
100%.
5th to 6th gen.
Yep.
And for me, I think you own all the mascots there, at least most of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think they're probably second guessing it right now. I still think it might happen.
Yeah, I think it's a slim chance, but it could happen. Absolutely. It could. I think that possibility's fading, but if they're smart and they see why it failed, I think they'll fix their mistakes with the PlayStation 2 Classic. But at the same exact time, too, just put them on the PlayStation 4. You got PlayStation Classics on the PlayStation 4. Yeah. So instead of this classic console nonsense, put them on the console. It has an emulator in it. Let's go. Let's do this. I know it's easier said than done, but let's start getting those games on there. So do you think Nintendo will think twice about releasing a classic console?
I mean, what's next? It's N64 or Game Boy?
Or Game Boy.
I mean, Game Boy Classic would be sweet.
That would be super dope. That would be super dope, dude.
That'd be really cool. But again, just put on the Switch. But I don't think they're gonna think twice. I think it's probably gonna happen. But N64 is probably a little trickier.
Yeah.
Just with the controller itself, like
that, and the library of games is very small.
Absolutely. Like they had how many games was on the SNES Classic? 20. Why did I think 40? That's insane. Like N64, I can think maybe 10.
Right.
Maybe. And
maybe.
If people were complaining about the PS Classic, having.
And you're also thinking like Rare, and you're thinking of GoldenEye. Like a lot of the games that do come into mind, you also have licensing and all that jazz you got to figure out with too. But I mean, hey, Microsoft's being real nice to Nintendo.
That's true.
Who knows? Phil Spencer seems like a nice, honest guy. But when he's out at night, he's on the prowl. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, Phil Spencer, once CEO of Xbox, went on a murder spree like no one saw in North America before. I'll maybe edit that one out. I'll think about it. Jams Games writes in, do you think, like you can, PS Trophy Room, tweet at us any time of day. We usually we give questions out every Wednesday. I should let people know that. And on our Discord at BadBit Test Facility. Go to the Discord link down below. Do you think, and also just write in that Phil Spencer, he'll kill you. Andrew House, find his address. Just mail it at him. You'll really love it. Do you think the big bump in PlayStation VR sales this holiday season will bring more Sony support in the future? Also, do you think PlayStation VR will work with the PlayStation 5? That's a good question, especially the later end. I think both, like the support wise, I think Sony's supporting it as much as they can, realistically. But hardware-wise, what do you think? Do you think classic PlayStation VR will work with the PlayStation 5?
I think so. I think that's one of the things of one of my resolutions are they need to learn from their shortcomings, and I think that would be a huge oversight for them to not let the VR not work with the PS5 in some form. It's much like how the Pro can't play 4K Blu-rays. Like, that is a huge oversight and something that I hate. Because once I get a 4K TV, I'm going to have to buy a 4K player? Like it would just make
An
sense. Having
Xbox
all in
One
one
X.
thing. I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, I could do that, but whatever. But yeah, I think that's an oversight if they don't include it. It's
Right.
something that I think they need to.
Yeah, I think it's just it's kind of like for me, I understood why the PlayStation 4 Pro didn't have a Ultra Blu-ray player, and I just think it's just that shift to it's just the shift
Digital.
to digital on movies is just insane, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're going for the Ultra HD 4K, then yeah, but you're probably not buying an Xbox or a PlayStation 4 for that. You're probably going for a proprietary, this is all it does machine.
Yeah.
So with that, like I understood why they did that, but it was embarrassing to say it every single time. Oh
Yep.
yeah, the company behind Blu-ray isn't even supporting
Yeah.
it on their most powerful platform, most popular one. So I understand that, and also you just kill VR at that point. If it's not on PlayStation 5, I think it needs to be on PlayStation 5 because it needs
Yeah.
to carry over.
Yep.
They do treat it like it's its own entity, but it's really more like parasitic in a sense where
Mm-hmm.
it needs that support of that console. So if a lot of people, what I see a lot of people do is when a new console comes out, they trade in their old ones. If
Yeah.
you just leave that console stranded, it's dead, right? So I think
It's something I hope they learn from the Vita and PS3, PS4 thing.
Yep.
It's something that Vita benefits from having a PS4 in its home environment, so you can use it as a second screen thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like Sony did a great job promoting that as much as they should have. And same thing with here. I hope they don't leave it behind to just kind of die.
Right.
Like I hope they keep pushing. I can see them maybe doing an updated VR with PS5.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Wireless, maybe if they can do wireless. Oh, game
That's
changer.
day one. That's
That's day
one
one
for me.
for sure. I will
Because
sell
even
an
in
organ
like
for
Beat
that.
Saber, I get tied up and like I fall, I trip, I break a hip. It's
Yeah.
real embarrassing. Eric writes in, like you can, via PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Tweet at us. Discord. You guys know the drill. Coffee hit me hard today, guys. Go, but again, mail is always accessible. Send it to Andrew's house. I'll get it somehow, some way. With the rumors of Xbox releasing 2 different Xbox consoles, you hear it too at the same time going around. Do you think the PlayStation will try to counter that with their own 2 consoles on release day, or will they repeat the PlayStation 4 and offer the PlayStation 5 at a cheaper price than either Xbox? Tricky question here. Tricky, because I don't know what the Xboxes look like, right? I don't know.
Or what the two versions differ.
Yeah.
Like, is one like a major hard drive and the other one like a more basic version?
Yeah. Is this basic version what everybody's kind of saying? It's the Scarlet and it's all about that server. It's all about that cloud and it's like $100. If that's the case, no.
Yeah.
Like Sony has to counter that some way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I can't see a situation where PlayStation would offer. Man, no, I'm gonna take that back because they did offer 2 different versions of the Vita. The one where you had to sign up for like a mobile plan. Oh God, but I don't think that they'll offer 2 different versions of the console.
Yeah,
I think they'll just say like, all these games. Like there'll be PlayStation 5 exclusive games, but the PS4 is still worth its value, and there'll still be games coming out, type of thing. Like I don't know if they want to do like a 2 different console type situation.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. When you're PlayStation, it's weird because this next generation is going to be very different. I honestly think that the more I think about it, the more it's not going to be about hardware sold. I think right now, and this is a PlayStation podcast, made by the players for the players, don't you fucking ever forget it. Who has the upper hand is Microsoft. Because I truly believe that the next console generation is all about your TV for the first time ever. It is all about the cloud. It is not about console or boxes anymore. It is about platforms. It is about Steam. It is about Epic Game Store. It's about GOG. It's about all these services, all these storefronts competing with each other. Because what I truly do think is the future is something like this. It's something like your phone. It's something like a USB drive you stick on the back of your TV, and bam, that's your PlayStation. And I know that sounds crazy, but I do think that's the way it's going. It's about services, because when you see Epic, right? Like they made their own storefront on Android. It's freaking nuts. Mm-hmm. When you see the way Epic has moved throughout this year, it's just like, yeah, no, if anybody could do that, it's actually Epic. Right? Like if anybody has the infrastructure to do that right now, it's Epic. And you've seen them launch this own game store. They have this popular game alongside with it, so that makes you download the launcher. You're staring at it every day. And so I think that's what the future is. It's in launchers more than consoles and more than boxes. And if that is the future, Sony lags behind. And Sony's in a real bad place. Because if anybody that does, or at least has a experience at it, it is Xbox. They've been trying it out this whole entire generation. They know they failed this generation. Like, that's not beat around the bush. They know that they were face down, ass up. And so they're just like, let's see what we can do with this. Let's play around, right? When you're in second place, you got walking around money to find out how to get on top the next time around. And you're seeing it with Game Pass. You're seeing it with this Xbox as a platform. And if anybody has that, again, that advantage, it's, that OS, Windows. It's downloaded right there on the system once you have it. It's the Xbox right then and there on your PC. I think that's more of the future than anything. So, to me, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested to find out. Long-winded way of saying, I don't know. Blame it on the coffee, Kyle. Blame it on the coffee. With that, I think that's all the questions I was able to find that I really liked. It was very thought-out questions we got this week. I enjoyed it. Kyle, with that, is there anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No. I'm sorry, man. I've been tanking hard as this episode's going on. I'm just getting tireder and tireder and tireder. It's rough.
No, I feel, because before this episode launched, we had so many technical difficulties with Discord. Of all things. Get it up and working. It was difficult. So with that, close the show out. That's how we do this. We'll just announce every act. Act is 5. Finito. The prologue is this. Please go to Insomniac, at them, at Donut County. Both of those handles are spelled exactly the way you think they are. Insomniac Games, Donut County. Spread the love. Show them that you care. Say thank you for creating games. And also, you can follow us while you're on Twitter at PS Trophy Room. Find us there. We tweet the latest and greatest in PlayStation news. And you can find when the show goes live. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean. I know I'm missing one. Spotify. Bam, got it. All there. So please rate us 5 stars. It helps us out. Shows me that you care. Also, the Trophy Room Game Awards. I forgot to give out the awards to people.
Oh, yeah.
I totally blanked out because we were so busy. That was finals day. So I'm going to make it up to you guys. Next week, I am going to announce all the winners. And if we get over 30 reviews on iTunes, which means we only need 1, I will make that 4 winners instead of 3. Ooh. So go out there, follow the Trophy Room on Twitter, give us a 5-star review, and then tweet us that picture of your review. Send it to us, because iTunes is sometimes stupid and slow. And I will again, I remembered the people who retweeted the last tweet, so I'll have that list there, and I'll announce the winners next week. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.
See you in 2019.
Oh, shit, yeah.